Hi Bovan, welcome to the IT I3 Education channel. Today we are going to discuss about the grade 11 unit 2, that is the systems development life cycle. Today we are discussing about the systems development life cycle. In short, we are calling as SDLC. What is the system development life cycle? Why we need it? All those questions will be answered within the video. So look at very carefully our video. This will explain you lot of things about the grade 11 ICT subjects unit 2, that is systems development life cycle. So before we are learning about the systems development life cycle, we should know what is a system is. Without knowing what is a system, you can't answer the question called what is SDLC, systems development life cycle. Actually, what is a system? Do you know what is system? Have you seen any systems? Just look at what is system. A system is a collection of components that interact together to achieve a specific goal. System means it has some collectives, it has some components. It's a collection of components. It works together. So all these components will be working together. What is for what? It's working to achieve a specific goal. So that is the standard definition for a system. But a system is a collection of components that interacts together to achieve a common goal. It has three meanings. First one is it's a collection of components. Second one, working together, interacting together. Third one, achieving a specific goal. Do you know how the system word has become system? The term system is derived from a Greek word called systema. Systema. What is meant by systema? Systema means working together. So we created the word called system from the word systema, a Greek word. What is meaning of working together? Okay, if you look at the systems, most of times we can notice that systems are made with few subsystems. System may consist few subsystems. I am giving you a simple activity just to identify subsystems of these systems, like the human body. What are the subsystems of the human body? Do you know? School. School. Can you identify subsystems of the school? What about telephone? Do you know what are the subsystems of a telephone? Can you list out? Okay. What you can do, you can answer this activity and send it to my email address. Then I'll be marking these things and give you a feedback. In the same time, you can join to my Google Classroom. You can get a lot of things from the Google Classroom. Okay, we proceed. Look at this one now. What is it? It's a human body. You can see that. So human body is a system. There are so many components working together to achieve a common goal. If you look at this human body, it has lot of subsystems. Look at these subsystems. First one, respiratory system. You know that. Then digestive system. You have it, isn't it? Third one, we have the skeletal system. Fourth one, blood circulatory system. Next one, reproductive system. All these systems are collectively create the body, the human body. So all that working together to achieve a common goal. Likewise, you can identify so many systems are around you. All these systems will be working together. The components, the parts will be working together to achieve a common goal. Okay, if you look at systems, what are the basic components of a system? What are the basic components? If you look at any system, has three basic components. Those are called input, process, and output. These are the basic components of any kind of system. If you look at any system, like the human body, it has some inputs, it has some process, it has some output. I'm giving a second activity. What I say is list the objectives, inputs, process, and output of the following systems. School, you have to list down what are the objectives of the school, inputs, what are the input into the school, what are the processes are there, and what are the outputs of this one. Weather forecasting station, that is very important. Every day you think about the weather. Okay, weather forecasting station. What is the objective of that station? What are the inputs we are getting in the station? What are the process? doing at this station and what are the outputs they produce. Look at the ATM machine. You may be using ATM machines to do a lot of activities. So think about the objective of that ATM machine: inputs, process and output. You can list down objectives, inputs, process and output of these subsystems: school with the focus station and the ATM machine. System boundary. If you get any system is something like that. What is around it? Around the system, we have called the external environment. We have the external environment. Within the environment, we have a specific system. So system has a boundary. System boundary. What is system boundary? System boundary is the area that separates system from external environment. Think about your body. Your body, it's your. So you have a boundary. Think about anything. Any system has its own system boundary. So whatever boundary will be separated from the external environment. What is below to the system are called the system components. What is outside the boundary, that is called the external environment. Think about this one now. Home. Your home. You are making fence or you are making walls. You are doing a lot of things for mark your area. That's a boundary. This is a boundary. You can see that. So whatever out of that boundary is the external environment. That is very important. To understand the system, you have to think about the what is the area belong to the system. What are the components belong to the system? What are the things actually belong to the component? So that is the system boundary. Okay, if you look at system, there are so many types of systems. First one, we are dividing system into 3 different types. By creation, by relationship with the outside world. Then we think about the by operation. So systems can be divided into 3 categories. One is by creation. Next one, by the relationship with the outside world. Third one, by the operation of the system. By creation, there are 2 types of systems by the creation. One is called as natural systems. Natural systems. Other one is called as man-made systems. Can you give some example for natural systems? Natural system is which are made by the nature. You can see a lot of things are in the nature. Okay, systems are made by the nature. Think about river system. Think about mountains. Think about jungles. Even the human body also a natural system. You can see there are so many natural systems available which are made by the nature. Solar systems, all these are natural systems. In other way, we can think about man-made systems, sometimes called artificial systems, which are made by humans to make their work easier or efficiently, something like that. There are so many systems made by humans, like a car, like the school. Even the computer systems are made by the humans to make something. Those are called as man-made systems or sometimes called artificial systems. What about the relationship? There are 2 systems. One is called open system, other one called closed system. What is an open system? Open systems in where the system will interact continuously with the outside world. There are so many inputs are getting from the outside. We are putting so many outputs to the outside world. So those systems are called open system. They have continuous interactions with the outside world. There are many more relationships between the outside world. Closed systems. Closed systems have limited interactions with the outside world. They are making very little interaction with the outside world. There are so many systems which are very close from the outside world. Think about the nuclear power plant. So they are interacting very less in with the outside world. So we can find out there are 2 systems by the relationship with the outside world. One is the open system, other one is the closed system. By operation, how they operate, how they are doing the operation. There are 2 systems. One is called manual systems, other one called automated systems. Manual systems. What are the manual systems? They normally operate with the human labor. Automated systems. There are very less human labor with the automated system. They use the computerized systems. Basically, we are interested with the information system. Information systems are man-made systems or artificial systems. What is an information system? A system that converts data into information is known as the information system. Information system is the one which will convert data into information. Okay, if you look at the basic components of the system, we can see data we are inputting, it do some process, then output the information. That's a normal way how the information system will work. We are inputting data, it will be processed, then it will output the information to us. Sometimes we are calling an information system is a collection of hardware, software, data, people, and procedures that work together to generate information needed by the users to make decisions. As you know, data are the raw facts, information are the processed data in a meaningful way to the user. So the information system will get data and process it and produce the information which can be used to make decisions. So if you look at information system, it's a collection of hardware, there's a physical component of the computer system, then the software, those are the programs used in the computer, then the data which we are inputting, then the people, the human, and the procedures, how they are going to use these things. So we can get a lot of example for information system. There are so many examples here and there. If you work any place now, when you walk to any place, you can see so many information systems are in operation. I'll give you a few examples here just to understand. Look at the school, there is school management system. Look at the supermarkets, there are supermarket management systems. If you go to a hospital, you can see there's a patient management system. If you go to pharmacy, even a hospital, you can see drug management system. Banks totally now use the information systems. So there are so many examples which you can think about the information systems, where they use computers, electronic devices, all those things are involved with the information systems. If you look at information system, there are basically two types of information systems. First one we call as manual information systems. Very less we are using. Think about your school. Is it using computer system or manual system? Sometimes it is yet manual. Sometimes it may be halfly computerized. Think about next part is the computer-based information system. What is manual information system? Manual information systems, basically data will be processed using human labor. Manual information systems will process data using human labor. If you got computer-based information system, the data will be processed using computers and electronic devices. You can compare these two, how the manual information system will work, how the computer-based information system will work. Look at your school, how they operate. Is it computerized or manual? Think about the supermarket, how they operate. Is it computer system or the manual system? What are the advantage and disadvantage of having these two systems? Can we compare these two? Our activity number 3. List the advantage and disadvantage of the manual information systems. Then list the advantage and disadvantage of the computer-based information. You can comparatively make that list. How you can compare manual information system with the computer-based information system. You can write the answers. You can send it to me as an email message. I'll be marking these things and will give you the feedback. Okay. Then we are talking about the systems development life cycle. What is actually systems development life cycle? Various methodologies are used to develop information systems. In here, we will discuss about the systems development life cycle that is used to develop information systems. So whenever you are trying to make an information system, there are so many methods are used. But here in ordinary level, grade 11, we are interested with the one methodology called systems development life cycle. There are so many other methods. When you learn advanced computing concepts, you could learn all these things. But here we are limited only to the Systems Development Life Cycle. In short, we are calling as SDLC. System Development Life Cycle, what is it? System development life cycles consist with number of phases or stages, and different methodologies will have different number of phases or stages in it. Life cycle will have different phases or different stages, but method to method, the number of phases, number of stages are different. But here in ordinary level, we are interested with the life cycle with 6 phases or 6 stages. There can be 5 stages, there can be 6, there can be 7, there can be 8, or even there can be 9. But here we are discussing a specific model which have only 6 stages or 6 phases on it. So we try to understand what are these 6 phases. Phase number 1, stage 1, that is called as the identification of the requirements. In phase number 1, we are trying to identify the requirement of the system. That's the first phase. Second phase. What is second phase? Second phase we are calling designing the solution. First step, we identified the requirements. Now we are designing the solution. There are different methodologies are used to identify the requirement. There are different methods are used to design solution. After you design solution, what do you do? Third phase, third stage, we are doing code in solution. We do code in the solution of the problem. We are doing some solutions. We are making a coding which can be used. Next step, testing and debugging. So first step, we identify the requirements. Second step, we design the solution. Third phase, we make the coding of the solution. Fourth place, we are testing and debugging. We test the system and we debug the system. Next phase is called the deployment of the system. So now our system is ready. Now we are trying to use our system. Last phase. What's the last phase here? Can you imagine? Yeah, what is it? It is the maintenance of system. Look at now the 60 steps. What is the first one? Yeah, first one is identification of the requirements. Second stage, designing the solution. Third phase, coding of the solution. Fourth phase, testing and debugging. Fifth phase, deployment of the system. Sixth one, maintenance of the system. We'll go so quickly. First one, identification of the requirement. Second one, designing the solution. Third one, coding of the solution. Fourth one, testing and debugging. Fifth one, deployment of the system. Sixth one, maintenance of the system. So these are the 6 phases we use our systems development life cycle. For today, we are discussing only up to this one. Next lesson, next video, we will discuss in detail of these 6 phases. What is identification of requirements? How we do that? How we do designing? How to do the coding? How to do testing and debugging? How to deploy the system? How to make the maintenance will be discussed in detail in the second lesson. By the time, you should remember what is the system, what are the different types of systems are available, what is the system boundary, and system life cycle phases. Systems development life cycle phases. There are 6 phases: identification of requirements, designing the solution, coding the solution, testing and debugging, deployment system, finally the maintenance of the system. This will end our part 1 of the systems development life cycle. I hope you have got a lot of knowledge with this lesson. I request you to subscribe to my channel. Kindly subscribe to this channel, and you can share these videos with your friends. At the same time, you can make a like on these videos. If you have any queries, you can submit these queries to the email address given below. Use the email address, send to me an email. I'll reply to you with the appropriate answers. Okay, at the same time, you can connect with my Google Classroom. You can have additional notes, additional questions, and all those things are with the Google classroom. Thank you very much. Have a good day. We'll meet to the next lesson detail of these phases, the 6 phases you can remember. Okay, thank you very much.